Hey, what's going on? My name is Ryan Stewman, and I am the president and CEO of Closer Capital, where we help entrepreneurs just like you get access to the capital that they need in order to grow and scale their businesses. Here on this channel, I bring good information that no other lenders are sharing with you to help position yourself to where you can borrow money, utilize money, and scale your business faster than your competitors. So today I want to talk to you about what we call at Closer Capital our Capital Infusion Loan, right? When you're in business, there is never enough money. I don't care how rich you are. I was one time hanging out with a friend of mine who is well worth maybe $1 billion at this point, well into 9 figures. He's a major developer here in the Metroplex. And one time I was with him and he was raising money. And I was like, man, none of those guys in the room that you raise money from have as much money as you. This is what he said, but I don't have cash. I got a bunch of assets and a bunch of land and a bunch of houses on the ground, but I got zero cash. And it takes cash to see this thing through to the end. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations like that. Like maybe we're a contractor. And now all of a sudden we get this big commercial deal or this neighborhood residential deal that's multiple units, and we don't have the cash ourselves to go out and buy all the materials, to rent all of the labor, and nobody's going to front it to us with the hopes of us getting paid. So what happens? We miss out on business. We have to sit with ourselves knowing that we didn't have the cash available to go make more money. And that's just one of the millions of places where the phrase "it takes money to make money" comes from. Well, that's where Closer Capital can help you. When you have a project coming up, you're going to make a big grip of money. You can't let borrowing money get in the way. You got to go out there, borrow. You might eat up a little bit of your margins because you got to pay interest or whatever the case may be, but you're going to be able to get more jobs because of that. A capital infusion loan is a way for you to take money and flip it and get out from under it quickly to where you can go to the next level and scale. It's not meant to be used long term. It's meant to be used as, here, I'm going to give you some capital. I'm going to expect this capital to be paid back to me, but I'm going to expect you to go out and fulfill these jobs that you've done with this capital, right? So I'm going to give you a bunch of money. And I want you to go out and make a whole bunch of money from that money and then give some of that money back to the lending source, Closer Capital. So how do we do a mathematical formula to where you can understand what kind of capital infusion your business would even qualify for in the first place? Now, when are some times to use capital infusion, right? Let's say I'm going to go buy a business and the bank is going to give me 80% of the value of that business. I can come get a capital infusion loan to cover that down payment for a short period of time and then refinance it all together 6 months down the road and be out of that capital infusion loan. So not only just for scaling your business, but for many different things, buying a business, all sorts of uses for capital infusion loans. But here's the mathematical formula. Okay. If you're 700 plus credit score, it's going to work like this. Okay. We're going to take 6 months of deposits, your bank accounts, right? So we're going to take 6 months of your bank records and we're going to add them all together. And then we're going to divide them by 6. Okay. And so that's going to give us a consistent half a year view on what your average deposit cash flow is. So let's say that month 1, you make 100 grand. Month 2, you make 200 grand. Month 3, you make 50 grand. Month 4, you make 150 grand. Month 5, 100 again. Month 6, 200. So we're going to come down here. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 800 grand that you're making over a 6-month period, which is about, of course, I would pull up 8 divided by 6. That's a brilliant mathematic formula in front of everybody. 133 grand a month. Okay. So that's what we're going to take as your average deposits. So now we're going to say if you have a 700 plus credit score, we're going to give you somewhere between 40 to 50% of that average monthly balance. So if you've got 133 and you qualify at, let's say, 40%, then we're going to loan you, then we're going to loan you $53,200 in capital infusion. So let's say you're buying a $200,000 business and the bank's going to give you $150,000 loan to value. then you could get this capital infusion for 53 grand as long as you're averaging 133 grand a month. And now all of a sudden you're into this for no money out of pocket, all debt. All debt's tax deductible. And now you can refinance all that debt into one big consolidated debt, 5, 6, 7 months, 12 months at the latest down the road. But if you're looking and you think, hey, I'd like to talk to Closer Capital and apply for a loan, I just don't know the parameters. I don't know what it is. So let's talk about if your score is below 700. So let's talk 650 to 700. Okay. We're going to go through this same process right here. But we're probably, if this is going to land you with 700 plus on the 50% side, you're going to be for sure on the 40% side, 650 to 700. Now, if you've got strong, you don't have any NSFs, you've got strong financials, you've been in business for a while, there's ways to make that up. Once you get down to 600 through 649, things start getting hairy. You're looking at 35 to 40% max capital infusion. And then honestly, we go down to 580, but it's not pretty. It's better for you to get with one of our consultants that can fix your credit and come back to us at a time in the future. Just being honest, right? Unless you're doing $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a month and you've got bad credit, we can make exceptions for that. But and depending on what the credit situation was. But if you're looking for a formula to basically know how much you're going to be able to borrow, how much capital infusion you can get to go buy a business, to scale your business, to go buy more materials or whatever the case may be, this is the formula. And we offer at Closer Capital, we offer weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and lump sum payments. So depending on your credit profile, depending on what you qualify for, depending on the program that we decide is best for you, for your situation, your payback could be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or it could be a lump sum and a certain amount paid out quarterly. Those aren't typically the decisions that the borrower gets to make. Those are decisions that the underwriter and the lender gets to make, just to be clear. So it's not my personal decision. But if you're looking for the formula, this is it. If you know somebody who's thinking about borrowing money, this doesn't just work at Closer Capital. This is universal. But since I shared the information with you, I'd hate for you to go somewhere else. So if you're thinking about money, make sure you apply at closercap.com. Thank you.